We do a lot of writing in English class, don't we? And there's nothing worse than having nothing to write about. Today we're going to be working on writing territories. This is a way for you to be thinking about some ideas that you have, things that you already know a lot about, that might make a great subject for some kind of paper, some essay, a story, or even a poem that you might want to write. What does this list represent? Friends, family, travel, teaching, sports, exercise, shopping, parents, pets, childhood friends, movies, food, gardening, favorite teachers. Yeah, you probably guessed it. These are all different categories that might be represented in your writing territories. I suspect you've got something to say about quite a few of these topics. Let's get started on your own list of writing territories. First, what 5 topics would make your list? You might consider some of the topics I mentioned earlier, or choose some of your own. Share your list with other people at your table when you're finished with that, and go ahead and share with the whole class. You can add anyone's suggestions to your own list. It doesn't matter, the more ideas you have, the better, because you'll have more things to write about later. Oh, but wait, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's make sure that you understand what writing territories are. A territories list gives you a glimpse of who you are as a writer. Your territories list is a bank of ideas. A writing territories list can help you be a more organized, productive, and focused writer. Writing territories keep your eyes on the prize by constantly reminding you of who you are and what you know and what your passions are. So the thing I love about a writing territories list is it lets me know all the things that I know about. It reminds me of the things that I have stuff to say about. And then sometimes when I'm stumped and trying to think about what would be something that I could write about today, I can go back to that list and I can look for some inspiration. And the list keeps growing. From time to time, I'll just think about something that's on my list or not on my list, and I'll add it on there. So I always have this continually evolving list of my writing territories. Every writer I have ever met, that I have ever seen interviewed, or that I've ever read about, kept a list of writing territories. It might not have called it writing territories, but they kept a notebook or a journal with ideas, things that came to them, things that they could write about at some time. I keep mine on my phone, and so whenever I have an idea, when I wake up in the middle of the night after having a especially crazy dream, or maybe I see something that makes me think or reminds me of something, I can add that to my list. So when it comes time for me to write, I can pull up that list and I can find some inspiration. Here's a list of options to consider when you're collecting your own writing territories. Maybe you want to write about some of your memories. Memories of pets, not favorite pets, other people's pets, friends, family. I had a friend who used to have a pet duck, and when I was in first grade, Piddle the duck chased me all through the birthday party in my friend's backyard. I was terrified. I think Piddle the duck belongs on my list of writing territories. Pet peeves. Those are those things that really bother you. Maybe the person who's sitting next to you bites his nails. Maybe there's an expression somebody always says that irritates you. Maybe it's the way some people behave toward other people. What are you obsessed with? What can you not stop thinking about? Maybe you're a super fan of some kind of TV program, something that you stream continually on Netflix. Maybe there's some kind of music that you love. How about confusions? Times that you maybe made a mistake, or things that you're often confused about, or maybe things people are confused about regarding you. A lot of times people don't understand us as well as we would like them to. Idiosyncrasies. That's a great word just for meaning those sort of strange, quirky things that people have. Little odd features about people that are just kind of peculiar or unique. Maybe problems would be things you'd want to add to your list. Social problems, personal problems, cultural problems. Gosh, our world's full of problems, so certainly you can think of something that you could add about that would make a great story. What about risks? Risks you've taken? Risks you wish you've taken? Movies, songs, poems, books. Sometimes I'll find a line in something that I'm reading that makes me think of something that I could write about. So I'll jot that down in my writing territories. Food, hobbies, games, sports. All of these things could be things that you want to add into your gigantic, evolving list of writing territories. Alright, so now it's your turn. Using the chart in the Writing Territories Student Activity 1, begin thinking of and jotting down as many ideas as you can based on the category listed in the left column. Remember, you want to write down any thought you can relate to that category. For example, the category of food. Now you could talk about pizza. Maybe there's a favorite pizza place. I used to love going to Mama's Pizza when I was a kid. We would play video games, Pac-Man. I might be revealing a little bit about my age there. Maybe you want to talk about your favorite toppings on pizza. Maybe things you can't stand about pizzas. How about cake? The best kinds of cake, the worst kinds of cake, your favorite birthday cake ever, the year nobody gave you any cake for your birthday. Perhaps you can write something about your wonderful obsession with cake. Breakfast foods are always a great topic. What about snack foods, junk foods, binge foods? Maybe you're like me and you love sushi, or you have an undying passion for Thai food. Maybe you can't stand anything spicy, but your brother loves spicy food. Food is a broad category, so something more specific might be food you like or you eat. So maybe you want to take it into something more specific, or maybe you have some experience at a Chinese restaurant that would be even more specific. So foods can be about the types of food, but it also could be something about an experience or a story related to food. Maybe it's about your first time to try to cook. Maybe it's about a kitchen disaster that occurred in your life. As you can see, the list can go on and on. The more specific you can be in creating your writing territories, the better off your writing is going to be and the more interesting it's going to become. Here's an example from a teacher. On the left side, she starts with a broad list of topics for writing territories. She says I could write about my parents, about being an only child. She could write about Mark, living in Manhattan, problems with her neck, and teaching. And then on the right side, she took one of those topics. She just chose living in Manhattan, and you can see that she kind of exploded that topic into many, many specific ideas, any of which would make a great resource for beginning a paper or an essay, a story, or a poem. So let's look at a few of the things on her list. She talks about the summer of 2001 with her mom in the city. Lots of time by the sailboat pond. She mentions going on a jaywalk tour of Harlem. Spending the day in Midtown East with high school friends in 1993. It says there were no parental supervision that day. Sounds like trouble. She talks about Yamim Noram in Manhattan and taking these long walks by the Central and Riverside parks. She remembers the day that the Twin Towers came down and watching the smoke from Madison Avenue. And she said that there were hundreds of people walking north and the big lines at the blood bank. She talks about taking my class to the farmer's market, and for 3 years each trip was special and unique. She got engaged to Mark at the base of Central Park. She had a summer internship in 1995, and she says that she had some commuting into Manhattan by car that July with her dad to go to the internship. She talks about a commencement ceremony, graduation at Hunter College at the Radio City Music Hall when she got her Master's of Science in Education. Her first market event was when she was an assistant buyer, I think that says, in the year 2000. She graduated from Teachers College and Riverside Church. And then in middle school, she has a memory of a t-shirt birthday party where she wrote down lots of New York City words, including names of colleges and neighborhoods, and she's wanted to live there since the age of 12. So as you can see, this person's got a lot of things that she could say about her life. Any one of them would make an excellent story.